Hey, my boy. Okay, so look, we do a lot of the basic stuff, fundamental stuff, really well. Okay, there's two major things you got to sort out here if you're gonna golf's gonna move forward. You're a tall, fit, strong guy, and there's no speed and there's no athleticism in this golf swing. So we've got to try and learn how to find a little bit of snap, a little bit of separation. Between the lower and the upper body. I mean, I can see you've learned how to initiate the movement of the hips on the downswing from the top of the backswing, but there's still not enough separation there between the lower and the upper body. So you can see there, the hips are trying to work. Okay, but there's very little resistance, very little snap, and then by the time you get to impact, I mean, the shoulders and hips are both parallel to one another again. Okay, so there's no sort of torque, there's no built-up tension, there's no speed. Okay? Then, the second thing, you've gotten better with this club face. I still think it opens a little too much there, but that's very hard to fix. You're trying to fix it at the top. Okay? Which is kind of better, but it still doesn't really work, because now as soon as you change direction, actually it opens again. So there, the club face starts to open again. So we can see a cup in the left wrist, and that face is open. Okay? And then if we come back into impact, because the face is open, you have to swing left. Otherwise, the ball is going to go so far right. So here, this club face, yes, the hands are a little bit away from you, but the swing plane is fine. It's the club face that's in such a bad position. And I mean, you're about to hit the golf ball and that club face is like 40 degrees open, 45 degrees open. Okay, so you better swing left, otherwise that ball's going off the planet. And that obviously just creates more side spin. Okay, so we've got to learn how to get the club face in a better position from here to here. Okay, and then we've got to find a little bit of snap, a little bit of athleticism, a little bit of separation in this golf swing. Okay, so that's the two things we've got to try and work on. The rest of the stuff, mate, you do very, very well. Awesome, mate. Okay, so two major things we're going to work on, we're going to concentrate on. Okay, I think do some of it in the gym, but we need to learn how to move the lower body without the upper body and vice versa. Okay, so we can see in that video a lot of good stuff there in the setup and the backswing, etc., etc. And you're trying to initiate here, okay, but there's not really much torque and resistance. Okay, so then what ends up happening is, okay, even maybe this opens a touch early, which doesn't help, but basically by the time we get to impact, everything is back to almost parallel level. Okay, when you do it correctly, by the time your shoulders get back square at impact, okay, that hip should be at least sort of 60 degrees open, not back to square. Okay, so if you're opening it over here to start the downswing, it's got to keep going, keep going. This has got to resist, okay, creating a lot of torque there in your core, okay, but that's got to keep going, okay, and it stores a lot of energy like that, okay, and then you snap through impact as you deliver that energy through the core and the arms to the golf club, to the club head. Okay, so you don't have to work on it like that, okay, but you do have to work on separating the lower body and getting yourself into a position where the hips 60 degrees open when the shoulders are back to square. Okay, so the other stuff will happen as a byproduct. Alright, so just keep playing with it, trying to get yourself open, do a little bit in the gym, okay, just do some separation exercises. Seated rows are really good, so if you sit on the edge of a chair, not seated rows, seated rotations, so if you sit on the edge of a chair and you move only your upper body, okay, and then you can do some where you keep your upper body in posture and you only move your lower body, okay, and you really learn to separate the two. And then in your golf swing, try and get open with the hips at impact, okay, and when you're changing direction at the top, try and delay the upper body, so go as far as you can with the lower body and the hips. And resist with the shoulders. Keep the back to the target. Resist. Keep the club and arms stored back here. While you go, go, go. Okay. Alright. Then the second thing. Oh, I just hate this one, dude. I absolutely hate it. But I think if you work on it, and I think if you get it right, okay, it might take a few months, but I think you can really go to a whole new level here. Okay. But the bottom line is, no matter all the stuff you've worked on it, what I'm talking about now as well. Okay, if you get the club face open there, okay, halfway down, it's about to reach maximum speed, and the club face is open. Okay, it's just problems. Okay, there's no real good stuff that happens from there, apart from a flop shot. So if it's open there and you try and get a big flop shot, then that's cool. All right, but other than that, nothing good happens. So you've got to learn how to shut the face, okay, sort of in the transition, and then keep it shut on the way down, whether that's right hand or left wrist or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Okay, but you've got to learn how to go from here, okay, not there. Okay, you've got to learn how to go there. That's a little bit too much, but you know what I'm saying, right? So you've got to learn how to go like that. Okay, it's the only way you're going to get your path and your release and your compression. I'm sure everyone tells you, oh, you're over the top, you're out to in, okay. You have to be because the face is open. If you try and swing square, that ball's going to go further right. It's going to go even further right. So swinging on line or trying to swing in or whatever is not going to work. It's just not going to work. Okay, you've got to learn how to get this face square. For you, it's from here to here. Okay, it's in this section here of the downswing. So as you shift weight, okay, you're going to close the face, learn to come through, and learn to deliver the club from there. Okay, it's going to take a while, alright, but if you get some feels going and keep sending videos and keep checking it, whatever, okay, it's something that will transform your ball striking to a whole new level, and then obviously from there your passion for the game, your knowledge for the game, your being involved in the game for the last few years will start to pay off, because you do a lot of that stuff well. Your knowledge, your alignment, your setup, your short game, your putting, your shot selection, all those types of things, tempo, balance, all that stuff, is really good. Okay, but it all means nothing if the face is open and you're just having to scythe across the ball all the time. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Sorry if they got longer than we thought, but how do you know me? You know me by now. Yeah, give it a try and let's see what we can do.